Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's an episode of Market Monday that is going to be more about preparing for Team of the Year, as well as talking about what to do with team builders at this point in the game. And I'm going to go over some budget buys that aren't master set players and things like that. We're going to talk about, 5 or 6 players that I think are going for a pretty decent price range and are about 50,000 coins. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a like and subscribe. All right, let's get into it. All right, guys. So over the last few days, when we got week 2 of the spreadsheet hockey event, we started to see some of the more banger MSPs get released, and I feel like EA does this on purpose because they want you to spend all of your resources before one of the biggest events of the year, which is Team of the Year. For anyone that doesn't know what Team of the Year is, it is essentially the best cards. Usually it's one for each position, and they automatically match whatever the highest overall version of that player is. So if Conor McDavid gets a 95 overall prime time, your Team of the Year, Conor McDavid, will jump up to 95 at 0 cost. It is not like the X Factors. There will be no cost, which is why they are so expensive and sought after. Now, that happens at the end of December, early January, and that could be anticipated to happen once again. So cards like Conor McDavid, usually what the cost will be is if you trade in the highest tiered version of Conor McDavid, so let's say he gets up to 91, 92. Last year, they cut the cost basically in half. So if it cost 800K, it's a lot like the EVO event or the Fantasy Hockey event. If it costs 800K to make Conor McDavid, then it will cost you the max Conor McDavid X Factor and about 300 to 400K to get his Team of the Year card. And obviously you want to do that because, well, you don't have to pay for the upgrade and essentially you get a 99 for the rest of the year. So when it comes to Team of the Year, though, you have to be very careful about the selections of when you're going to spend coins. Here is what I would do, no matter what, with all of your rewards. So if you get Rivals rewards, I would still take Untradeable, and the reason being is that you get the most amount of cards, okay? Again, this has been the same logic throughout the whole year. Now, you can do Tradable and take your shot on getting something good, pulling something like a Master Set player or something like that, getting a lot of coins. Coins are great, but here's what happens if you save just your coins for an event. If Team of the Year happens, and you have, let's say, 1 million coins, you are then going to pay the absolute highest price that you can for whatever the overalls are. 87s or 88s, whatever they require, they will shoot up through the moon because everyone that is playing this game is going to want to buy them. The reason why I would say take Untradeable is because you will get double the chances at pulling a high card, and then again, you can throw it into these sets to make the Team of the Year collectibles as the year goes along. Now, I get a lot of questions about team builders. I want to talk about team builders right now because we're getting to the point in the year. Last year, around this time, middle of December, the new team builders came out. So if you weren't playing NHL 22, what happened was, I believe they started at 90 overall. They started at 89 this year, and they went up to their 94s. Their 94s got released, and you had to trade in 2 of the 90 team builders to get 1 of the 94s. So if you have 1 team builder, you need to finish the second one. There's no confirmation if it's going to require a team builder or both team builders from each division. I would be stunned if EA did that because that would just be an absolute brutal cost. And while EA is pretty ruthless when it comes to the cost of making some cards, I just don't see them doing that. It'll more than likely just be 2 team builders, then you will get the 93 version of whatever the team builders that come out with. So if you don't have any, I would bail out, okay? Right now, prices for some teams have settled in around 4,000 coins. Now, if you're close, like let's say you have 20 out of 25 for many teams, I'd probably try and get 2 done. But you have to remember, if you can only do 1, there's really no point because at some point you're going to have to do a second 89 to get up to the next one. Same thing with 3. If you're going to make 3, you got to make 4. And the other thing to remember is that as it goes along in the year, when the 94s, those become a little bit long in the tooth, and the 98s come out, or whatever they are, let's say it's 97s, for example, it's going to require 2 94s or 2 93s. So if you make 6, at one point, you might have 3 94s, but you're going to have to do 1 more again because, again, it's usually trade in 2, get 1. So keep that in mind. If you're going to make 4, that's fine. If you're going to make 6, I would make 8. And if you make 6, then you're probably not free to play, which is fine. So just keep that in mind. But here is what I want to bring up, guys. If you are getting tradable cards of any kind, if they are 82 and below for a team, you probably hold on to them until when the team builders get released because the prices will spike. But that is what I would do. I would hold on to 83 and above, and I would not spend on an event, okay? Now, I talked about how the Spreadsheet Hockey event was very good, and there was multiple master sets that were great, and there is, and it is very cheap to make multiple of them. But what I would do is I would pick one, and you can make them for free, essentially, with the milestones and the objectives, I guess, obviously it does take a ton of games, but you can make one and be fine, but I wouldn't go out and make 4 if I was no money spent, for example, because you're just going to run into your resources. So as the month goes along in December, especially the next event, we're going to get 90 overall MSPs. The Winter National event's going to come, and they're going to do all they can to suck all of the resources out of you because Team of the Year is coming, as well as team builders. In the next 2 weeks would be my guess is when we get the next set of team builders right before Christmas time so that everyone spends all of their resources. So just be careful. If you pack 82 and below and they are tradable, wait until team builders are released and then sell them on the market when they're going for the absolute highest. Guys, we're also running into kind of the power-up collectible crunch. And I think a lot of people forgot about what happened last year when it comes to X Factors, but we're starting to reach the point where multiple X Factors get upgraded at once, and it costs you 3 or 4 power-up collectibles to do any sort of upgrade. Keep in mind, guys, if you have multiple X Factors, unless you can hit that 11-win threshold regularly in Hut Champs, I would be very selective over the X Factors. The only ones I would do are essentially the locks for Team of the Year, and that's McCarr and McDavid. I personally think Matthews is going to get it. I don't think they're going to position lock it. I have a feeling on this. I think that the way that they've run it in the past really hurts their marketing by not allowing, McDavid is always going to win center, and Cale McCarr is always going to win right defense. So I just really think that they might go positionless, and it'll just be whatever. But those, and McKinnon is another one I would continue upgrading. But outside of that, guys, if you've got Barzal's X Factor, you could keep it at 89 and not do any upgrades because that one gets to 87. But just keep that in mind. Be very careful with the amount of power-up collectible reliant cards that you've got. If they're tradable, you might want to think about selling. All right, on to the budget buys, guys. We're going to go over some cards that I think are going for very cheap that you can use in your lineup if you are struggling for no money spent. You don't have all of the coins and resources to go out and get X Factors or MSPs. Here's where the cards I think have some value. So we'll start with the 86 Mark Scheifele. They fixed his face-off rating from prior years where it was just abysmal with Thief activated, which is an easy one to activate. 85 on the draw, 6'3" with unstoppable force. This is basically a little bit faster version of Tage Thompson, his primetime that came out a little while ago, which is still a phenomenal card. This card is only going for 24,000 coins on the PlayStation 5 Marketplace. This is a great value buy if you are looking for a centerman or even if you're looking for a right-handed winger. Unstoppable Force is one of the best abilities in the game, especially on a player that's 6'3". Next up for 55,000 coins, we've got the 87 Hut 23 Dylan Larkin with Beauty Backhand and Thief. 92 acceleration and speed, 91 agility with Thief activated, 86 on the faceoffs, 94 defensive awareness, and 92 six checking. This is just a great all-around card at 6'1". Dylan Larkin has been one of the best cards, in my opinion, throughout the start of NHL 23. You can play this card on the wing or at center, which gives you lineup flexibility. 100% a card that I would recommend you go out and try. And again, only 55,000 coins. Base Nathan McKinnon has now fallen to 45,000 coins, and you're not really going to find many 92 speed, 92 acceleration with high 80 shooting for that kind of price. So his synergy and his ability kind of sucks. But again, you're looking at 92 speed, 92 acceleration with a decent shot for 45,000 coins. This is a pretty safe buy as well if you're looking for a right-handed winger. Conor McDavid's base is also going for 90,000 coins, which is a very, very decent value at this point in the game. 94 speed, 94 acceleration, a great shot, and booming shot is also a phenomenal synergy to get activated. So if you can get that activated, it makes him even better. But even just without the synergy around 90K for 94 speed and acceleration at 6'1", great card, and he's still going to remain one of the best cards for the little while in terms of value, just because he's going to continue dropping in price. Next, we've talked about Jordan Dumais, I believe that's how you say his name, a few times. On PlayStation 5, he's going for about 15 to 20,000 coins with silver elite edges. Again, the junior cards as well as some of the European players are statted really weird if they're silver, if they come out as silver as their base card to start the game. 91 speed, 91 acceleration, 97 agility, and 95 shot power with silver elite edges. Even at 5'9", you can do some really shifty things with this card. Again, it's just a very good value under 20,000 coins if you can get them. Austin Rose is another one for 25,000 coins. He's got silver unstoppable force, 89 speed, 89 acceleration, 96 agility, 97 shot power, and 86 faceoffs. This is a very good cheap right-handed centerman if you are looking for one. And again, unstoppable force, one of the better abilities. Now, defensemen are still very hard to find good, cheap ones, essentially. There's a big gap still between the bargains and then the master set players, and it's really where if you're going to build like one master set player from an event, it's probably defenseman. I mean, Mackenzie Weegar from the Spreadsheet Hockey event is phenomenal, as is Mike Green, as is OEL from the last event, and Slavin. There's a lot of options here, but if you're looking for a non-MSP, 45,000 coins for base Cale Makar. He's been one of my favorite cards all year round, and again, if you like to take point shots or tip shots, setting it up at the point, you can dance around the line with Cale Makar. If you're looking for someone a little bit bigger that can actually, knock people off the puck in their own zone, the 86 Dougie Hamilton, 6'6" with 87 speed, 88 acceleration, and I've been saying this for a little while now, seeing eye, I take so many wrist shots from the point for tips that with seeing eye on, it seems that I can just throw it in with a slow wrist shot sometimes if the goalie screens. So just something to keep an eye on, but he's going for about 35,000 coins. And if you're looking for someone that isn't on the speedy end that can't knock anyone off the puck, Dougie Hamilton's a decent buy. For a left-handed defenseman, there's really nobody. It's like Roman Josi and Victor Hedman, but Samuel Gerard is going for 13,000 coins. If you get Protector on him, that helps out a little bit more with his defensive awareness, but 90 speed, 90 acceleration, you're looking really bleak on the left-handed side of things. And then in net, the bargain bin 85 Jacob Markstrom. There is no reason to go out and get another goaltender until someone comes out and gets, released a really high-end card. All the master sets so far have been pretty disappointing in terms of Patrick Waugh and UC Saros, but base Markstrom is all you need in this game. He has been nuts, so that's probably who I would go with when it comes to a goaltender. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.